OverKill, one of their latest live albums and one of their best live albums. They play all songs from one of their best albums. All songs from one of their best albums. The whole album Horrorscope played live. The only song that isn't good is Frankenstein. It's an instrumental song and it's a cover. I don't care much about that one. I'm really glad to have it. Many people I know don't care much about live albums, but I actually play them from time to time. Back in the day, when I didn't have much money and wanted to check out the band, I always bought a live album. One of the first albums I bought by Ozzy Osbourne was a live album, and I bought more live albums and more, and I think it's an interesting part of a band's discography to hear a live album a little now and then. But with most bands nowadays, I'm glad to have like one live album. I don't need all live albums, except with bands like Iron Maiden. I don't have all their live albums, but I wouldn't mind having all their live albums. They all serve their purpose. They sound great, and the song selection is also always great. I mean, it's just one of those bands that you should experience live. They're not the best band in the world, in my opinion. That's Manowar. But I can honestly say that their live albums, I mean, the first live album they did, they missed out on recording the audience. And that's a huge part of their sound. The big backing vocals, like the audience singing the word back to the band. And if that's not included on the live album, you lose like a very important element of their songs. But they fixed that problem for the second live album. But actually, I don't have them. I've heard them a long time ago, and I just never bought them myself. Well, here's a band that I discovered seeing live. Unanimated. This one was recently released on vinyl for the first time. There was a bootleg, but I mean, if there's an official vinyl version, I'd rather buy the official vinyl version than like the first pressing that is like some Greek or Russian like sitting in his basement and hoarding all the money from that should go to like the labels and the band that's actually put effort into the product. I mean, sure, he put effort into the product somehow because he made it, but it's not his product. So I was thrilled to see this official reissue, first time on vinyl. Came out earlier this year. Ted, new vinyl version, regular one. Add to collection. Unanimated. Well, talking about Ted. One of my favorite vocalists. Like, he's not the best vocalist, but he's got a great, unique voice, suitable for like powerful metal, like faster heavy metal. He's been singing with Yngwie Malmsteen, for instance, and he's known for being pretty fast, you know. And this album is like, oh, it's not a new solo album. It's a new band. Well, don't put your name on it if it's not your solo album. That's what I want to say about it. I mean, it's not that hard to come up with a band name if you're forming a band. Come on. It even sounds like his last solo album, so it's just silly. And it was easy to find the vinyl version, because there's only one vinyl version. Added to my list. Here's another one. This guy, I've had the same singer in his band since like the mid to late 90s. And he's since then made a lot of albums that all sound basically the same. And if you are into heavy metal and hard rock, you know how some bands change their sound and style throughout the years. Like Saxon have changed their sound a lot. They're still good, but their sound has changed. Oh no, look, this is the one I bought, but then I see here that there is like a black vinyl version available, and that's just so annoying. Another one that I, due to lack of research, bought the wrong version of the album. I want the regular version due to the better sound. I mean, buying vinyl is already a drop in sound quality from CD, and the colored vinyl versions, they are just not as good, because black vinyl is a material that is made to reproduce music with maximum sound quality available for that format. The colored vinyl is just plastic that is not as good at reproducing the sound. And also there are limitations in how much music you can put on a vinyl with good sound. So this album, this is 1 hour. It's fucking 1 hour, and it's from 1987, so it was only released on one disc. I had the original pressing a while ago, but I just never played it because I didn't like the sound. So when the double vinyl version was announced, I was thrilled, like hell yeah, I'm buying this. It only took me 3 years. It was released 3 years ago. 2017. Double vinyl. Can't be this one. I'm gonna compare these two. I don't think it's... How am I supposed to see the difference between the back cover? Clearly says 2017 on mine. So I can see that where the text ends here is where I spot the difference. I can't see what the text says, but I can see that there is a small difference, and based on that small difference I can see that this is the version I have. So I add that to my collection. Angry Machines from 1996. It's been available on vinyl, but it was reissued this year. Easy to find the right version, done in a second. Magica, and I know for a fact that they have forgot to add the last disc, which is a 7-inch single on this one. So there's one song missing in the tracklist on Discogs, of course, but also the song is not written on the back of the sleeve. It's only mentioned on the sticker on the sleeve. You can see the sticker right there on the little picture that should be there. Killing the Dragon. I actually remember seeing posters for that album when it was released, and I finally have it in my collection. I actually didn't have it before. That's the one. Finally on vinyl in my collection. Master of the Moon. featuring the actual Jeff Pilson from Dokken on bass. That was actually the last vinyl that I had prepared for this Discogs thing.